first for all, sorry for the last today with a complicated match. So, how do you feel for match today?
Definitely a mixed range of emotions. Pretty disappointed right now. I know the guys are really disappointed. Um, I mean, we we lost so many rounds that we should have converted. I think especially on bind, I'm usually the copium type where I always see the positive instead of the negative. So for me, even Haven, we should have won for sure on the defense. We had so many good opportunities. To create our snowball, and we definitely fell flat. And then on bind, man, the thrifties that we lost and the 4v2, just some of these rounds they're like the gut punching type of lost rounds that it's really hard to bounce back in live in the server with your mental. So today really tested a lot of us and we failed.
Yeah, and in this match, we can't see the real Ever Genius. So, what do you feel is missing to win?
Mm, we're having a hard time creating momentum for ourselves. If I think back, even when our very first match in kickoff, after the first map, we were feeling amazing. And going into the second map, we just played with a nervousness that is just, when the pressure's on and you don't want to lose, you start to play a little bit more timid, the normal kind of problems that every team has. And for us, it's just a matter of building confidence with each other in those moments. But I think definitely because we were, trying to get Douglas comfortable with English, trying to make sure Bao feels comfortable. Every problem, all the same problems that every team has. We were working on those, but I will say that, um, just building confidence with five when the language barrier is there, it's been a lot more challenging than I think any of us would have foresaw. But Douglas has been amazing with his English and his own hard work. So it's a matter of everything right now. All of it is kind of hitting us all at once. Um, Today we just fell short, man. We failed for sure individually.
Yeah, and in this moment, we are in the new meta for the change of duelists and other agents. The next question is for DGC. For the change is as you be seen DGC adaptation to this new meta after the change, especially the duelist change.
What was the question? Sorry.
Um, uh, what do you see for the adaptation, especially for DGC, especially for the change of the duelist in this meta?
Yeah, he's had to adapt a lot. Douglas is a very low sense player, and he's not an aggressive, naturally aggressive player. And, since the start, I actually had him playing Waylay in the beginning because he wanted to play Waylay, but Waylay is just a whole nother level of aggression. So it didn't make as much sense stylistically. So I think in the beginning of the year, even Douglas had to come to a realization of what kind of player he is, what his strengths are. And, now finding that aggression in the mid round off of Neon has been something we've been working really hard on. Um, but he's not that naturally aggressive player who's going to want to buy a judge every round. He's an incredible opper. So it's just a different style for sure than what the meta is this year. So Douglas has definitely had to adapt his aggression and kind of meet everyone on the same level in this meta.
Yeah, and and this year, this is the first time we see Com as IGL. So, how have you seen the evolution of Com as IGL?
Mm, with Corbin, he was such a strong mid rounder on all of his previous teams, even when we lifted the trophy together in 2023. And replacing Corbin on a lineup. is really hard because his mid rounding and his voice to kind of make sure the plan comes together is really important. And I think since he's changed his title to IGL, having to focus on the beginning rounds and trying to make everything perfect, it's definitely been a challenge for him to find his voice in the mid round more so. So that's kind of been what we've been working on is making sure that that mid round voice is still there. So it's been Superman and Okeanos stepping up big time to make sure that we have a mid rounder. So is Bao as well. But for Corbin, it's definitely it's definitely a learning curve, and I think he's having a lot of fun with it so far this year, and he's been a natural leader his entire career. So it's just a matter of time before things start clicking more naturally.
Yeah. And in this moment, your next rival is Energy, the last world champions. But this is stage one. The level of Energy is no good. So, how do you feel with the preparation for the next match?
Yeah. I think Energy definitely has had a slow start, as you say, but they're the world champions. So the caliber and the pedigree of players on that team, you can never underestimate them for sure. So I think last week they definitely had the confidence boost they were looking for. Or actually not last week, a couple days yesterday. So going into next week, they are definitely going to be feeling really good about themselves. Whereas for us, our chances of playoffs have drastically changed for sure. So I think for us next week, at least for me, what I'm going to be telling the guys is we get to come in with seriously a no care attitude of the pressure's off. It's not in our hands anymore. And usually that helps. I believe that. So yeah, I have full confidence coming into next week versus NRG. And my plan and our plan at EG is going to be to take advantage of a slow NRG.
Yeah, but I believe you for the win, the next match. So the next question is for the ENC, the Sports Nation Cup. In this year, the ENC will take place, and so far, only the coaches have been announced. What are your expectations for this tournament, especially for your players?
Um, I haven't been following too much of who the roster is going to be, but I think it's a really cool opportunity. I love when nations come together, and most of my career I was competing in what was called ESWC, Electronic Sports World Cup, and it was very nations based as well. And having that sort of camaraderie, it was really special for me to be able to represent USA. So I think it's a really cool opportunity for everyone and the players, and I'm excited to see what the competition looks like.
Yeah, and in your country, what is your favorite roster for this tournament?
Ah, um, that's a good question. I think it's got to be. I mean, let's put Valen as the IGL. Let's grab an Ethan as the secondary caller. Zekin as my main duelist. Let's grab a Luke Show for the set. Oh no, no, no. Luke Show is not American.
No.
I don't actually even know if those players are Canadian right now that I'm spitballing. But let's bring another G2 player in for Valen to make him comfortable. Um, let's bring Jogimo in for that second duelist. So primary duelist Zekin, second duelist Jogimo. Is that five? Am I missing a fifth? Or is that five? I think that was five.
Yeah. So the Sport Nation Cup is a great tournament. We are expectation. This tournament is in November, so my illusion was see you as coach, but the coach has have announced. So the last question is for the fans, and what do you say for your fans, especially for the next match?
Hmm. I know sometimes it's hard to be an EG fan. Our road for the past couple years has been up and a lot of downs, a lot of downs for sure. But we're working really hard. We're working hard, and we're definitely under the mentality that we have to work harder than everyone else, and we're trying our best. So we still have hope. I still have a lot of confidence in this roster. So we're going back to the drawing board. I mean, I was trying to do the math quickly to see. I think our percentage chance is less than 10% right now, but that's what it's. I mean, kind of clawing my way up has always been the thing. So to EG fans, to my fans out there, keep sending us your energy. We need it.
So thank you so much, Gotter, and good luck because you are the best coach for me, and I want to see you in the victory very happy. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. See you next time, Potter.
Thank you. Bye.